Hello there, and you're very welcome to the Arkham Avengers Fantasy Football Premier League podcast. You join me, the host, along with Eamon and Hector, as we take a look to see how the managers in this league are performing. There'll be views, analysis, comments, and much more as we wait to see which manager will be crowned the champion. Gentlemen, we're in the middle of Gameweek 35 at present. Is it a good week by your standards, or what do you think of it?
It is a good week. It's an interesting week. And I say it's interesting because of the fact that you have Man United are playing 3 times. And you also have several teams such as Liverpool, and you have Leicester, Southampton, you have Chelsea, Everton, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, and Aston Villa are all playing twice. There's a lot of football.
Yeah, indeed, there is a lot of football. And I know it's Tuesday at the moment here, and it goes right up to Thursday. And then we're banging to straight away Game Week 36, so there's not much of a break, is there?
No, there's not much of a break in it. And I think this is a good opportunity for some managers to try and, close a gap, get a few extra points. There's opportunity here, if you had chips.
Hector, what do you think of it so far? I think if you have, the players on your team, the players to play the 2 matches, who will play 2 matches. Not all players will play the matches, and that is something that managers need to factor in. They will have already done this by the time this game week start, and then you have to see what the player you have. He playing twice. Is he going to play? Will he be playing 2 matches? Eamon said there is Man United. They have played 3 times, but maybe not every player plays the 3 matches.
No, and I think, in fact, if we're correct on this here, like Fernandes didn't start the match, he came on, and Wan-Bissaka didn't play. I'm not too sure now. I'd be corrected if Shaw didn't play either, so there is that to factor into it, isn't there? There is, yes. You have to think carefully. Sometimes if you have the single player playing 1 match, and if he scores you plenty of points, you could be doing better than having a guy in who's to play 2 matches. Maybe he doesn't even tie up his shoelaces for his football boots.
Okay. Well, look, we'll take a look at Game Week 35 for the listeners here. And I know our listeners are probably going to wonder, gosh, what are they going to say? What can they say? We'll have a look. And, our league leader at the moment, only the best. Now, they had 2 transfers. They've lost 4 points. Eamon, do you want to have a chat here? Because this is the man that you've been singing the praise about, saying that not only was he the best, he was simply the best in your view.
Yeah, okay. He brought in Liverpool defender Kabak, and he put Stones out because Stones isn't playing. Now, he hasn't really got much payback for this guy Kabak. He hasn't been producing any goods. He brought in Ward-Prowse as well from Southampton, and he again, he hasn't really been doing much business there. And it was unfortunate. Keane is up front with 2 points. Watkins got -1, which is poor, and it's quite unfortunate there. Shaw has only played 1 match out of 3, so you're right there. The Man United player, he hasn't played tonight. Now, he did go for Fernandes as his captain, so he got 22 points there. That's a good move there.
Okay. But, Eamon, this is the guy, of course, that we were looking at, and he was leading the way, and, everything was going perfectly fine. And he has 41 points at the moment. Has he stalled?
And I don't think he has stalled.
Well, he got 29 points last game week, and he got 43 before. Now, something's happened.
Yeah, well, look, these things happen, sometimes you have a bad game week, but this is the fourth week that he's on the drop. This is uncharted territory. We've never had this from this manager before. Yes, he might have dropped 2 weeks on a go, but he'd bounce back and he'd be on a roll for another couple of weeks. But 4 weeks on the drop. I mean, Eamon, what's gone on? I mean, look, if I could have a chat with him and talk to him, I'd probably know more, but I'm not a psychologist. I can't read into his mind. Look, these things happen. You take a little dip, and look, the football's not finished yet. I mean, he has Ward-Prowse playing there, and after this evening's football is finished, he'll still have 8 players left to play the rest of the game week. It's doing, he's doing okay. You make it out as though he's finished. Well, I mean, he's not really keeping a distance, is he, from second place? And we'll come to Toboggers 5 in a moment. He has a triple captain, and he has a bench boost. Would he not have been wise to use something like that? Especially when you see he has currently 27 points on the bench, sitting there gathering dust. Hector, what would you make out of this?
Well, I think, Eamon's right. Sometimes, these things happen. Sometimes I see this before. Managers, they're at the top. They're at the summit. They're leading the way. And sometimes they just ease up. And they start to coast towards the finishing line. And, maybe he has some other distraction. I don't know.
Well, he's certainly not, as you would say, sitting on the beach with a pina colada, I'd say. I'd say he's probably looking over his shoulder and scratching his head, wondering, what is he going to have to do?
That could be, I don't know. But, Eamon's right, these things happen. Perhaps maybe he could have played triple captain, but he'd have to pick the player who's going to maximum the points out of. The bench boost probably would have been the thing I probably do if I be him, but he looked like he no up for that.
No, he didn't up for that at all. Okay, right. Well, we'll move on anyway. We'll come to Toboggers 5, who are in second place. Now, they had one transfer. They brought in Phillips, and they got 6 points there, and they put Stones out. Eamon. Well, it's a good move. I mean, once you put somebody out and you get points coming in, you do well. I noticed he's played triple captain. Bold move, trying to close the gap there on, only the best so far. They've got 33 points out of Fernandez. Still one match to play. If he plays the full of the match and, performs well, there'll be more points there. Chilwell didn't play for him, so that's a bit of a disappointment. He did decide to stick with Bamford up front, and look, he got lucky getting the 9 points there. Yes, okay, yeah. And, he'll have 6 players to play here. Now, before the matches started here this evening, he's 23 points behind only the best. So there's very little in this now at the moment. Yeah, and I believe he's on 77 points at the moment. So he's chipped away another few points off there. Are we seeing the final run to the line where Toboggers 5 is going to take this year's league by a snout, if you were horse racing? Hector?
Well, that could be case. I really know not much horses. I don't know. He could do it. I don't know. He trying to do it. We see him doing something. We know he want to do it. I don't know. He's doing something.
Well, he's certainly doing something. Eamon, you're not sold on it, are you? Well, look, he is doing what he has to do. He's trying to win. And this is his third week rising. So we've gone from one extreme, and this guy's rising. So everything is going in his favour, isn't it? Yeah, look, this game week's not finished yet. And as you said, the next one is bang straight in there. Let's talk after this game week is finished, and let's have a look what the next one, because Only the best are certainly not finished. We haven't seen the last of him just yet, mark my words.
Okay. Right, third place, of course, has Arkham Avengers, and they had 4 transfers. Lost 12 points. That's a lot of points. They're currently, though, sitting with 81 points. Now, Hector, I might come to you first. What do we make of this?
Well, as you say, a lot of points to lose. This time of the season, I think sometimes it's big gamble, big risk. But looked like he might have. It looked like he might have pulled something out of the bag here. I think he brought in the guy from Liverpool, Alexander Arnold. He got 7 points for him. He bring in the man from midfielder from Man U, the Greenwood, and he got 17 points, I believe, so far from him. The Calvert-Lewin was brought in from Everton, the striker. He had 9 points. He brought in the guy Watkins, and look, he had -1.
So he has a total tally. The 4 lads he brought in, he's got 32 points. And the 4 lads he put out gained 19. So he's on a winner there. Eamon, he has done something very astute here, hasn't he?
I don't know about astute. I think you're pushing it a bit far.
Now, come on, Eamon. I mean, he brings in 4 players, gets 32 points. He's 81 points so far. He's the highest point so far of the group, and you're still going on and not having even a bit of positivity here.
Look, I have plenty of positivity, but as I said before, this guy, he's a spoofer, so he is. He's hit lucky with some of these players.
Eamon, come on. Hector, you couldn't stand by on that, could you?
Well, I don't know. I think Eamon sometime he'd be very hard on this guy, but yeah, there is an element of looking at, but he bring in the good players, so he do,
Look, I didn't say. Look, let me be straight here. Yes, I'm not the spoofer's biggest fan, but I will hold up my hand and say yes, he brought in some decent players, and he's getting a decent return. But look, that's just a flicker of a bit of a light here. It doesn't mean that he's going on a roll. He's certainly not winning anything here.
Well, this is his 7th week on the rise. He must be doing something right.
Well, I've said this before, yes. It's always good and easy to look like you're doing something right when those around you maybe are just putting a foot wrong or bringing a wrong player in. That's all it takes. It doesn't mean...
Well, I mean, Eamon now, hold on a moment, Eamon. I mean, let's say, for example, if this was Toboggers or only the best Ginger Pool who had brought in these players and was getting these points, you would be saying, what a great move.
Yeah, well, I would, yeah. Well, look, I'm not denying it's a good move. He's done something right. And look, fair play to him, and he has a few players maybe to play. Cancelo got him 1 point. Look, I'll say this, if I can. He has strength across the defence, the midfield, and the forwards. He has a good team there. And we can't take anything away from that. And he still will have 8 players to play, so he's going to get a good return this week. And look, that's all I really want to say about this.
All right, okay. We'll move on. Blythesome squad in 4th place, and they have 3 transfers, and they lost 8 points. Now, they brought in Henderson and put out Pope. And Henderson so far is only 3 points, and Pope got 7. Hector, was it a good move to change the goalkeeper like that?
Well, I suppose, your goalkeeper, he'd be playing well. He only played 1 match so far because De Gea come in today, and now maybe De Gea stay for the next one, so it could be a bad move. They bring in Greenwood, and they have Greenwood as their captain, so that was an excellent decision. They brought in the guy from Chelsea, Havertz, play first match, but he may be playing in the next match, and he do very good. I think he do be very, very good.
Right, okay, there. Eamon, any thoughts or comments here on this?
I think their defence is pretty weak. They only have 5 points so far. I'd have concern about that. And look, Kane got 2 points. Watkins got -1. He's playing against, is it Everton? So he might make up for that.
Okay. Now, they're in their 3rd week of a dip.
Yeah, these things happen. Look, don't worry about it.
And they've got 8 players to play for the rest of the game week. Righto, we'll move on to Gingerpool, and Gingerpool didn't make any transfer whatsoever. They still have their bench boost that they didn't activate. Eamon, this was a manager who really was performing there only a couple of weeks ago. They have 49 points at the moment. I should say Blightsome have 64 points at the moment. So, would a bench boost not have been usable at this time? Well, yeah, probably would have been. But, I don't think he needs to use a bench boost. They've got a decent defence. He's 15 points out of the defence. The midfield are holding their own. And look, with I think 22 points. Now, look, okay, it's unfortunate that Kane and Watkins are up front. So that's a bit of a downer there. They're rising anyway, though, so they're going in the right direction overall in the league. Yeah, and they have 7 players to play for the rest of the game week, so they're not finished yet. Now, 6th place has maximum effort. They didn't make any transfers either. Now, Eamon, what do you make of this?
Well, for a start, they have a wild card, and I think because this is game week 35, they could have used that, get themselves set up nicely. Especially at this stage, they only have 4 players left to play in this game week. They also had Doherty in defence. Now, I'm going to ask the question here why. I'm not sure anybody's going to be able to explain this. This guy hasn't played a match since game week 28 when he got 1 point. And yet this guy is left in there week in, week out. I've raised this before. It doesn't make any sense. And it's poor man management, so it is. Now, Lacazette is sitting on the bench. Possibly he'll play again, and he is on the subs bench, so if he does play, he'll come on. But, there's a lot of things not gelling in this team. And Jesus from Man City is up front, and he hasn't been performing either since really game week 30 when he got 8 points. This guy is in free fall at the moment. And when you have a wild card there, that's an opportunity to stop it.
Okay, right. And I think, they're 4th week on the dip, so not looking good at all there. Now, 7th place is What a Beauty 99. No transferred. 52 points at the moment. They have a lot in the armoury there, haven't they, Hector?
Yes, they have bench boost and triple captain, and they have free hit. They have awful lot there. I scratch my head, wonder why no they play nothing. Even if you were to do free hit or bench boost something, but I don't know how he keeping these for. Maybe there's a rainy day coming in the next game week or something. I don't know.
Eamon?
This is a strange one. To have that amount of chips left and not do anything. Especially the midfield is shocking. Lingard got 1 point. Sarri's got 1 point. Okay, Fernandes got 11 points. He has Watkins as his captain. There's a big error straight away. I know Watkins was doing well, fair enough, but when you have those chips, you could use them, maximize them. Especially he's only got 5 players left to play here. He could have 5 or 6. He could have 6, 7 players left to play. You could have 8 players left to play if he had selected his team with a bit more thought and consideration. So I am perplexed with this one. It's no more than the other guy leaving Doherty on the bench.
Okay. And then finally, 8th place is Michal's Tiger Tokens. No transfers. Of course, this is the team on autopilot. The manager has left the team to play by themselves just for the moment till he comes back. He has all his chips in place. He could have snitched in there, so he could have. He has Calvert-Lewin as his captain, so that's not a bad choice, is it, Eamon?
No, not a bad choice. I think he's got 18 points there. He pretty much has no midfield, though. He's 4 points from 2 players. He's in his 2nd week on a dip, and now he has 5 players to play for the rest of the game week. I mean, the other guy, What a Beauty, he could have more than that. So for managers who are active and doing something, and to have this, all those chips sitting there gathering dust, It makes you wonder, so it does. I'm perplexed. I'm confused. I'd like someone to explain this to me.
Okay, well, if the manager of What a Beauty is happens to be listening, perhaps maybe he'll get in contact with us and we might have an explanation for it. Gentlemen, I think we'll leave it there at the moment and we'll be back after this game week has finished to see how the dust has settled. Thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining.
All right, thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you also. It's good to be here. I give shout out to all the Brennans down in Swinford. Great people over there, yeah.
All right, okay, fair enough. Okay, and listeners, thank you for joining us. I hope that you've enjoyed the banter and the chat and that it's been insightful. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to hear more. We'll have another podcast coming up shortly. Okay, and from me and the panel, take care and mind yourselves.